Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dives into the vampire hunting action-packed film of Blade 2. In our previous video, we explored some of the hidden references, Easter eggs, and behind-the-scenes action sequences. In this second part, we'll uncover more intriguing details and references that have been carefully woven into the fabric of this masterpiece. In addition to homages to old classic films and various scripts that didn't make it into the final cut. So get ready to expand your knowledge of this amazing sequel and discover some fascinating insights you may have never noticed before. And a quick reminder before we begin of heavy spoilers coming up. A fascinating piece of behind-the-scenes trivia involves the legendary pop icon Michael Jackson. The filmmakers had initially planned a cameo role for him as a vampire pimp character who would have been encountered by Nyssa during her exploration of the House of Pain. However, due to scheduling conflicts, Jackson was unable to participate. As a result, the role was given to a Czech actor, but the entire sequence was eventually removed from the final cut to maintain the film's pacing. The opening scene was originally planned as a high-speed car chase. However, due to budgetary or logistical constraints, the production team decided to scale down the sequence to a thrilling street fight. This decision ultimately proved to be successful, as it showcased Blade's incredible skills and set the tone for the rest of the film. Interestingly, the original idea of a car chase was later revisited and implemented in Blade Trinity, providing a visually stunning and action-packed opening sequence for the final film in the trilogy. A subtle directorial choice in Blade 2 highlights the complex dynamics between the characters. When Blade delivers the iconic line,
"Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer,"
he moves to the right, positioning Scud behind him. This subtle camera movement emphasizes the trust and camaraderie between Blade and Whistler while subtly suggesting that Scud, despite being an ally, may not be entirely trustworthy. This clever use of cinematography adds depth to the characters' relationships and foreshadows Scud's betrayal. Also, when Nyssa orders Scud to hold open a Reaper's mandibles during the autopsy scene, he initially hesitates. Blade then calls him
"Sissy,"
and Scud reluctantly complies. This seemingly out-of-character moment, where Blade appears to encourage the mistreatment of a fellow human, is later revealed to be deliberate, as Blade knows that Scud is secretly working with the vampires, so he doesn't really care about him. The Blood Pack was specifically formed to counter Blade's unique abilities. Each member had a role to play. Snowman, a master swordsman, was tasked with countering Blade's swordplay skills. Light Hammer, possessing immense strength, aimed to overpower Blade physically. Verlaine, a cunning strategist, likely focused on exploiting Blade's tactical weaknesses. Chupa, with his formidable firepower, was meant to neutralize Blade's heavy weaponry. Finally, Reinhardt and Priest, the point men, were responsible for close-quarters combat, countering Blade's short-range attacks. The iconic scene where Blade draws his stake and taunts Reinhardt with it before striking him is a clever homage to a classic Western comedy. This particular moment references a similar scene in the movie Trinity Is Still My Name, where a character uses a similar technique to humiliate and provoke their opponent. This is Matt Schultz's second time being in a Blade movie, but as a different character. He played Kreese in the first Blade movie, who gets his hand and fingers chopped while playing with Blade's sword in the library scene. A subtle detail in Blade 2 reveals the fundamental difference between Blade and the other vampires. In a brief moment, Whistler uses a thermal scope to observe the group as they approach the House of Pain. Through the scope, Blade appears as a distinct heat signature, in contrast to the other vampires and members of the Blood Pack, who appear as cold-blooded. This visual cue reinforces the idea that Blade, as a daywalker, possesses a unique physiology that sets him apart from other vampires. It's a small but significant detail that underscores the core concept of Blade's character. While the Reapers are often credited as the inspiration for the Strigoi vampires in Guillermo del Toro's television series The Strain, the truth is more nuanced. Del Toro had actually conceived the idea of the Strigoi long before the creation of Blade 2, as he adapted certain elements of the Strigoi concept to fit the world of Blade, creating the Reapers. This means that the Reapers are actually a derivative of the original Strigoi concept. Tony Curran, who portrays Priest, has a notable connection to another popular vampire franchise. He also played the role of Marcus, a powerful vampire antagonist in Underworld Evolution. This shared connection between the two films highlights the versatility of Curran as an actor and his ability to portray complex and menacing vampire characters. Wesley Snipes' portrayal of Blade is iconic, and he embraced the opportunity to reprise the role in Blade 2. Snipes relished the challenge of recapturing the character's essence while pushing the boundaries of the franchise. He said, "I love playing this role. It's fun as an actor to test your skills at doing a sequel, to see if you can recreate something that you did." Peter Frankfurt adds, "Wesley is Blade. So much of the character was invented by Wesley, and his instincts are so spot on. He takes his fighting, his weapons, and attitude very seriously. He's incredibly focused, but he's also very cool and fun." Guillermo del Toro also added that Wesley knows Blade better than David Goyer, better than me, better than anyone else involved in the franchise. The film subtly incorporates a historical reference to the vampire lore. Before entering the vampire club with the Blood Pack, a prominent neon sign reading, Radu, can be seen. This is a nod to Radu, the brother of Vlad the Impaler, a historical figure who is often associated with vampire mythology. By including this subtle detail, the filmmakers pay homage to the rich history of vampire stories and their enduring influence on popular culture. To physically embody the role of Nomak, Luke Goss underwent an intense training regimen. Over 10 weeks, he dedicated himself to boxing, karate, and combat training. This rigorous training, combined with a strict diet, allowed him to achieve a low 5% body fat. Originally, the character of Verlaine was intended to be the twin sister of Raquel, the vampire from the first Blade film played by Tracy Lords. This connection was likely intended to add depth to her character and provide a personal motive for her involvement with the Blood Pack. However, this idea was ultimately abandoned, and Verlaine became a standalone character. While this change altered the original vision, it allowed for a more dynamic and diverse cast of vampire villains in Blade 2. To ensure that the movie received an R rating, the filmmakers made a creative visual choice. Instead of traditional red blood, the Reapers were depicted with green-yellowish blood. This subtle change allowed the film to maintain its intense and violent nature while adhering to the rating guidelines, and added a distinctive and otherworldly quality to the Reapers, further emphasizing their monstrous nature. The character of Reinhardt was initially envisioned as a more overt Nazi figure, speaking exclusively in German, but this approach was ultimately abandoned in favor of a more nuanced and subtle portrayal. The attention to detail in this movie extends to the set design. In the climactic battle within the Caliban building, a striking piece of corporate artwork is knocked over. This artwork features a stylized representation of a DNA double helix, a symbol of genetic material and the building blocks of life. The inclusion of this scientific motif adds an element of complexity to the setting, suggesting that the company behind the Caliban building is involved in advanced biological research or genetic engineering. It's a small but intriguing detail that enhances the film's visual world building and hints at the potential dangers lurking within the shadows of the vampire underworld. In the DVD commentary, Guillermo del Toro revealed that he paid homage to two iconic works, Watchmen and I Am Legend. The way the Reapers explode in the film, particularly their disintegration into a cloud of dust when exposed to sunlight or UV light, is reminiscent of the way Dr. Manhattan explodes. Additionally, the scene where Blade and his allies are overwhelmed by a horde of Reapers echoes the relentless zombie attacks in the book I Am Legend. These subtle references to classic works of science fiction and horror demonstrate Del Toro's deep-rooted love for the genre and his ability to blend disparate influences into a cohesive and visually striking film. And this ends our part 2 of this series. We hope you've enjoyed these mind-blowing facts about this amazing flick. From hidden Easter eggs to surprising behind-the-scenes details, Blade 2 is a treasure trove of cinematic secrets. But we're not done yet. In Part 3, we'll delve even deeper, uncovering more hidden gems, symbolic elements, and fascinating trivia. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up as it helps us grow and reach more fans like you who appreciate these cinematic deep dives. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends so they can join the fun too. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and until next time, stay sharp and we will see you in part 3.